So your evolution process up till now is New York and then Atlanta and then LA. So what are some lessons that you took from each of those stops along the way that you still kind of lean on today?
Well, I really, well, New York, I was a kid and I was just writing songs, and I think the best thing about my New York experience was Herb Bernstein, who
Mhm.
was a great arranger. I picked up a lot of things by listening to him. Atlanta was more of a laboratory proving ground in the studio, learning how to make demos, learning how to be a better songwriter. Um, but LA is where I learned the business, um, and you know, I was there for 40 something years, and got to play and work with the best of the best. Um, and so you can't help but pick up some good things from those guys, you know, uh, and I still do what, you know, I do what I do. I don't try to do what other people do because I'm really best at doing what I do
Mhm.
and staying true to what I do. And whether that's old fashioned or not relevant at some time, maybe it is, maybe so, but you can't be someone you're not.
Yeah, I don't know who it was that said it, but somebody a lot smarter than me said, "Be yourself. Nobody's as good at that as you are."
Right.
So
That's true.
yeah, for
That's
sure.
true.
So one of the things that it's apparent to me, I'm still caught up on the Snuff chapter here, is he kind of introduced you as a young creative mind to some people that you idolized growing up. I'm talking about Roy Rogers, who was your first cut for Snuff, and then later on Merv Griffin. You were able to meet him as well. Did you? Man, what's the question here? I guess that as a young person now, are you really throwing a lot of weight behind Snuff now because he made some of these things happen for you?
Um, I'm indebted to him.
Yeah.
Uh, I still, you know, acknowledge that if it weren't for him, I wouldn't be who I am in this business. And yet, there were some things that went on during those 10 years that forced me to have to leave, and I'm more grateful that I left when I left
Mm. So when
because I was able to really become not so much in his shadow, but become my own person.
so when you get that cut from Roy Rogers, what's the euphoria like there, man? I can't even imagine what that's like.
Well, well, the thing about, you know, I was in Hollywood shock when I was that first year out there. Snuff knew everybody.
Yeah.
He would he would go to dinner with Jerry Lewis and you know, Sonny Bono and Cher and uh, all these people that I idolized as a kid, you know, and growing up, and so I was like a kid in a candy store,
Mhm.
you know, and then he was gracious enough to involve me in all of that, and uh, you know, Tone Anthony Newley, which was, you know, one of the highlights, one of the when people say what's the greatest experience you ever had. You know, half the people mention Anthony Newley to don't even know who he was, but to me, he was one of the greatest songwriters and one of the greatest performers ever. So, and I got to do a record with him, Tom Jones, Engelbert Humperdinck. You know, it was like a dream. You know, dream come true.
Yeah. I can imagine, especially as a young guy, but like, man, what awesome memories.